So, if you're opening your utility bill right now and feeling that sudden pit in your stomach, trust me, you are not alone. I mean, whether we're talking about trying to keep the heat on during those unexpected winter freezes or, fighting the absolute sweltering humidity of a South Carolina summer, skyrocketing energy costs can cause some intense financial stress. But listen, there is a federally funded lifeline designed specifically to help offset those exact costs. Welcome to This Explainer. This is literally your ultimate survival playbook for securing some much-needed financial relief and keeping your home safe and comfortable. If you're worried about utility shutoffs or simply struggling to afford your monthly energy costs, you've landed in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about South Carolina's Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, which most people just call LIHEAP. We're going to take this kind of complex, intimidating government program and transform it into a clear, actionable guide so you can get the help you absolutely deserve. Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, 1, an introduction to LIHEAP. Then 2, who qualifies for help. Next is 3, the application playbook. Followed by 4, how much can you get? Then 5, timelines, rules, and FAQs. And we'll wrap up with 6, extra resources and next steps. Let's dive in. Section 1, Introduction to LIHEAP. So what actually is this? LIHEAP stands for the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. It's basically a federally funded block grant, and its primary goal is to help vulnerable households offset the immediate pressing costs of home heating and cooling. Now, it's super helpful to know a crucial distinction here. LIHEAP doesn't just hand you a stack of cash. Nope. Instead, if you're approved, the program issues a voucher that gets paid directly to your energy vendor. We're talking Duke Energy, Dominion, your local co-op, lowering your balance straight at the source and keeping your service active. Now, the federal government sends these funds over to the South Carolina Office of Economic Opportunity. But here's the thing, the state doesn't process your application directly. Actually, scratch that. You won't deal with the state at all. Instead, they partner with a decentralized network of 14 local community action agencies, or CAAs, that cover all 46 counties. You'll be working directly with your specific local CAA to get this assistance. Section 2, who qualifies for help? Okay, we need to start this section with a massive myth buster. A lot of people think, hey, if I receive SNAP benefits, TANF, or supplemental security income, I automatically qualify for LIHEAP, right? Well, that's true in some states, but South Carolina explicitly opts out of categorical eligibility. That means even if you receive other benefits, there is absolutely no auto-enrollment, none. Every single household has to complete a full application and go through a manual income verification process. So what exactly is the income limit? Well, South Carolina bases its eligibility on 60% of the state median income, or SMI, and they look at your gross household income before taxes. To put that into perspective, a single person can make up to $2,666 a month, or picture a family of 4. Their gross household income can be up to $5,127 a month. And remember, everyone living at your address who shares a single utility meter is counted as one household, regardless of your separate financial arrangements. Yep, roommates absolutely count as one household for this. Moving on to Section 3, the application playbook. Here is your 4-step game plan to navigate this whole process without pulling your hair out. Step 1, find your assigned local community action agency based on your county. Step 2, gather your strict documents. Step 3, book an appointment. Now, it's really helpful to know you generally can't just stroll into an office for standard seasonal benefits. You usually have to call their automated line or use their online portal to book a slot. And finally, Step 4, attend your appointment and apply. Let's talk about Step 2, because this is where it's super easy to get tripped up. Here are the inside tips on the mandatory documents. First, you need an unexpired South Carolina photo ID. And here's a massive detail to watch out for. The address on the ID absolutely must match the address on the utility bill. No exceptions. You'll also need original Social Security cards for every single household member. And I mean the originals, no photocopies allowed. You also need proof of gross income for the last 30 days for everyone 18 and older. Oh, and if someone is claiming zero income, they have to provide a South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, or DEW, zero income printout. Just a heads up, that takes about 3 to 5 days to generate, so request it early. Finally, bring your 3 most recent consecutive utility bills showing an active balance. We really want to make sure your application goes through smoothly on the very first try, and that's largely because of this specific quote derived right from the agency policies. South Carolina has a zero-tolerance policy for incomplete files. Failing to present even one required document will cause the application to be voided and denied. Seriously, they do not mess around here. Double, even triple checking your paperwork before your appointment is the absolute best way to set yourself up for success. All right, on to Section 4. How much can you get? It is so nice to know that every single approved eligible household starts with a base non-emergency benefit of $200. But thankfully, it doesn't stop there. You see, South Carolina uses an equity-based benefit matrix to basically give the most help to those who need it the absolute most. Think of this almost like unlocking bonuses in a video game. For example, if you have a child aged 5 or under in the home, boom, add $50. If someone in your home is 60 or older, add $75. A documented disability adds another $50. If your gross income is extremely low, like under 30% of the state median income, you add $175. If your energy bills eat up 20% or more of your gross income, well, that's considered a high energy burden, which unlocks another $175. Oh, and being a veteran adds $50. You can literally stack these bonuses based on your household's unique vulnerabilities. So with all those bonuses stacked up, what are the absolute maximums? During the heating season, a household can receive up to $850. During the cooling season, it's up to $775. But here's the real game changer. For life-threatening emergencies, like an active utility disconnect notice or staring at an empty fuel tank in the dead of winter, crisis assistance can provide a one-time payment of up to $1,500 to literally save your household. Section 5. Timelines, Rules, and FAQs. Now, the program is seasonally restricted. The heating season runs from October 1st through April 30th. The cooling season kicks in right after, from May 1st through September 30th. Crisis assistance, however, operates year-round, prioritizing those extreme weather months. But listen, because this is a block grant with very limited funds, applying as early as possible when these windows open is absolutely essential, because when the money's gone, it's gone. Let's rapid fire through some common questions. First off, renters absolutely qualify. Even if your utilities are included in your rent, you just need an itemized lease showing exactly what you pay for energy. Next, we already know the benefit goes directly to the vendor, which honestly just simplifies things for you. Also be aware, there's a mandatory 30-day wait if you need to use a second LIHEAP service in the same year. And crucially, if you feel you are unfairly denied or your application was just ignored, you have a legal right to a 3-tier administrative appeal process to advocate for your benefits. Don't be afraid to use it. Wrapping up with Section 6, extra resources and next steps. What's truly amazing about all this is that applying for LIHEAP often acts like a magic key. It can auto-qualify you for private utility hardship programs. It's this beautifully interconnected safety net. For instance, Dominion Energy has their Energy Share program. Duke Energy has Share the Light. Piedmont Natural Gas has Share the Warmth. Also, this is huge. If anyone in your home relies on life-sustaining medical equipment, applying for White Cross status with your utility provider is an absolute must. This gives you priority notifications and incredibly strong legal protections against shutoffs. Before we wrap up entirely, it's really helpful to clarify the difference between standard and crisis help. Standard applications require a scheduled appointment and strict seasonal timing. But if you have an active shutoff notice literally in your hand, you fall under crisis intervention. Crisis actually bypasses those seasonal maximums we talked about, and many local agencies will allow a limited number of first-come, first-served walk-ins every day specifically to prevent these imminent emergencies. So, what's the takeaway here? Finding financial relief doesn't have to be some impossible hurdle. Find your local community action agency, meticulously gather every single document we discussed, and apply for LIHEAP to utilize those priority bonuses. You have a right to apply for this relief, so please don't hesitate. And do me a favor? Share this explainer with neighbors, family, or friends who might be silently struggling with our own energy burden. Finally, please note that the information in this explainer is for educational purposes only and reflects the source data as of August 4th, 2026. Program funds fluctuate and local agency procedures can totally change, so always verify the final details with the South Carolina Office of Economic Opportunity or your local community action agency. So what steps will you take today to claim the relief you deserve, and who in your community will you share this lifeline with? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay safe out there.